Thank you, Oscar. That was very kind. I got to know Oscar on a soccer trip to Brazil in the summer of 2013, and I watched as he exhibited effort and determination on the field and kindness and compassion off the field, and I knew he'd be a wonderful addition to our school. Oscar has enriched the parish experience for all those who've had the opportunity to be around him. Aldo, Lorenza, thank you for raising such a wonderful young man and letting him be part of the parish community. He's a reflection of you. Aldo y Lorenza, gracias por criar a su hijo fantástico y por dejarlo ser parte de nuestra comunidad. Él es un buen reflejo de ustedes. I am honored and humbled to have been asked by the senior class to speak today. This is my 23rd graduation, and this senior class is closer to my heart than it has come before it. I've given 2 commencement speeches prior to today. In my first speech, I suggested the message given at college commencement speeches for students to go out and change the world is a charge delivered 4 years too late. I implored those graduates, and I implore you, to not wait until after college to change the world. Do it now, when you have the time, freedom, and intellectual capital that the college setting provides. Go beyond the prescribed curriculum, get involved outside the classroom. That's how you'll maximize your college experience and hasten your impact on the world. In my second commencement speech, I suggested that your path to success was predicated on how you alone define success. I made a case for not necessarily following your passions, but allowing your passions to follow you in all of your endeavors. I contrasted the world I graduated into many years ago with the much faster-paced world of today, where technological advances bring uncertainties and challenges that create both exciting opportunities and important responsibilities. Those were well-researched and, dare I say, inspirational speeches with grand ideas about the world our graduates inhabit and their role in that world. But that's not what you're going to hear today. Today I'm going to speak from the heart, because as I said, this graduating class is different. Among this 103 seniors are 40 of my AP Psychology students, 20 of my AP Biology students, 19 of my Psychology of Leadership students, 16 of my soccer players, 14 of my 4-year advisees, 1 of my nephews, and my daughter. For 4 years, I tried to separate father from faculty member to give my daughter space. I had to resist dad jokes in the hallway and not talk about her in my class, even in developmental psychology units, which is very tough. And my psych students will swear that I never talked about her in class, but I did hold a lot of stories about my friend and his daughter. I swear, I left you out of it. But today I thought it was futile to ignore the obvious. Today I would like to channel the voices of all the parents, grandparents, and guardians in the room. Today I speak for all who fed you, raised you, changed your diapers. We who from the day you were born have had our own dreams for you. We who love you more than you can understand. We who are filled with fear, hope, humility, and pride today. If you could climb inside our hearts and minds today, you'd see a bundle of contradictions. We're excited for you to go, but we don't want you to leave us. We want you to grow up, but always stay young at heart. We want you to show some grit, some stick-to-itiveness. Don't give up, don't quit. But really, we'd like you to know how to quit. The bad habit, the toxic relationship, the unfulfilling job, even that boring book you're 3 chapters into. But don't quit just because it gets hard, because it's going to get hard. See, we're full of contradictions like, do as I say, not as I do. Learn from my mistakes. You don't have time to make them all yourself. Listen to me. I know what I'm talking about. I was you once. I remember what it's like. But really, nothing I tell you is going to be right. I don't remember. I don't know anything. No one knows anything. We're all just imposters faking it and hoping no one finds out. Socrates said the unexamined life is not worth living, and no less profound, Malcolm X said the examined life is painful. We don't want you to feel pain or discomfort, but that's part of what makes life worth it. What would the good times be without the bad times, for contrast? We're full of contradictions. We're bursting with pride at your accomplishments, yet we want you to be humble in everything you do. And probably the one that has us most conflicted is our desire for you to be fearless and take risks, tempered by our strong desire for you to stay safe. Kurt Vonnegut said, "I want to stay as close to the edge as I can without going over. Out on the edge, you can see all kinds of things you can't see from the center. We want you to see from the edge, but we don't want you to fall." We're filled with a lot of emotions today. There are a lot of lessons we still feel we have to teach. And we know you're tired of hearing it. And yes, we know that you're 18. No, we were there when you were born. We know. But to us, you're still the little boy with the buzz cut, the cute little girl in pigtails. We're always going to worry and care. We're your parents. That's our job. So please indulge us for one last lecture before you graduate, one that centers on the feelings we're feeling today: fear, hope, humility, and pride. As every parent in this room understands, nothing matches the fear of the day a child is placed in your arms with no instruction manual. From that day forward, fear has been the main motivator for many of the parents in this room. We feared we were going to screw up in some way that would damage you forever, like that time we dropped you and discovered babies bounce. No, they do like made of rubber. You could like bounce them like a basketball. I'm not saying you should, but there's some built-in margin of error there. But we do fear. We fear failing to live up to some standard, of not being a good enough parent, spouse, teacher, or coach. We fear these things every day, though no one told us to. Fear is a powerful emotion. It can be wielded with considerable force. Politicians use it to manipulate. Terrorists use it to intimidate. Parents and teachers use it to motivate. But nature uses fear to keep us safe. Without fear, we'd be reckless to the point of our own demise. But again, I'm conflicted. On one hand, when it's the tingling on the back of your neck or that churning in your gut, when you're not clear but something doesn't seem quite right, when you're thinking, maybe I shouldn't go down this dark alley alone. Maybe I shouldn't have one more drink. Maybe this person isn't who I think they are. In those moments, be safe. Listen to and heed those fears. On the other hand, we don't want you to let fear control you, because it will if you let it. Recognize when fear is holding you back or freezing you in place. Everyone in this room has something they regret not doing because of fear. When fear keeps you from daring greatly, when fear traps you, ask yourself, what am I afraid of? Failing, rejection, the hard work? I remember one day when I was growing up, I was at the local pool, and a boy was trying to get his little sister to jump off the diving board, but she was frozen with fear. He tried and tried to convince her it would be okay, but she wouldn't budge. There was an older woman slowly swimming laps during all of this, and at about the time the little girl was almost in tears, the woman stopped and asked her what was wrong. And she cried, "I'm afraid." And the woman said, "Good, be afraid, and do it anyway." It's okay to be afraid, but do it anyway, because some of the best things in life are just on the other side of that fear. In addition to the fear we felt on the day you were first placed in our arms, we were filled with immense hope. And today, with all that you have in front of you, that hope is just as strong. We hope you find your path and fulfill your promise to be who you are meant to be. We hope that you are happy, but not always searching for happiness. Live in the moment, savor it, because right here, right now, is where you'll find it. We hope that you not look for the right person, but instead try to be the right person. We hope that you can always speak out and stand up for those who can't. We hope that you listen to Maya Angelou, who said, "You must bring all of your gifts with you all of the time, for when you do not bring all of your gifts, you not only insult the Creator, but you're also very boring." I hope you remember my talk earlier this year about the value of the slow burn. Some things deserve time and perseverance. Things that come quickly and easily often fade away just as fast. Our hope is that you never see yourself as a finished product. Instead, always be in a state of becoming. The jazz great Duke Ellington, when asked what his favorite song from his catalog is, would always reply, the next one, the one he had yet to compose. You see, we thrive not when we've done it all, but when we still have hope to do more. And this idea applies not only to our work, but to ourselves and our character. You're going to go through multiple iterations of yourself, but you're never going to be the perfect version. We build out of the unfinished idea, even if that idea is our former self. Henry James said 3 things in human life are important. The first is to be kind. The second is to be kind. And the third is to be kind. As you are remaking yourself, we hope that kindness is one truth that you can be certain of, especially in times where absolute truths are hard to come by, when the lines between reality and fiction are frequently blurred with alternative facts and fake news. What is real is difficult to know. You would be well served to remain humble. Don't always be so certain you have all the answers, even though you may feel like you do. No one owns the truth. Be aware of what you don't know. Be willing to listen and keep learning. Remember that everyone you meet knows something you don't. Remember that winning an argument doesn't make you right. Remember to keep asking questions, because as the poet David White said, the marvelous thing about a good question is that it shapes our identity as much by the asking as it does by the answering. Another way we want you to be humble is in how you handle your accomplishments. Remember that the good leaders are known for the good they accomplish. The great ones are known for the accomplishments of those they lead. It doesn't matter who gets the credit. Speaking of credit, who gets to take the credit for you? That day when we first held you in our arms and looked at you, we wondered, how is it possible that I played some role in making something so perfect and beautiful? And then, of course, you became teenagers. Alien, monstrous, rebellious teenagers. But today, while we can no longer cradle you in our arms, we still look at you with amazement. Competent, confident, intelligent, kind, beautiful young adults, and we wonder, how is it possible that we may have played some role in forming who you are? We're so proud of you. We're proud of a group of kids who founded the Rover team out of a desire to explore an area of passion and went on to leave a legacy as an award-winning team. We're proud of our Academy of Global Studies students who dove deep to research and publish studies on a wide variety of international issues. We're proud of the work of our Leadership Institute scholars who put theory into practice to directly impact communities both locally and abroad through their LEAD projects. And we're filled with pride for the approximately 17,000 hours of service this class has engaged in over 4 years. We're proud of the artists who commit hours to their craft to bring beauty into the world and entertain us on stage, and of our athletes who sweat and bled in competitions, some under the bright lights and others on early morning trails and in cold pools. And we're proud of your acceptance into some of the most prestigious universities in our country. While we're proud, we've known your potential, so we expected no less. With the short time I have left, and since they haven't pulled me off the podium yet, I want to squeeze in my last pieces of dad advice. Ignore the naysayers. Let them doubt you, and then let them watch as you prove them wrong. There's a Chinese proverb that says the person who says it cannot be done should not interrupt the person doing it. But if you do fail, and you will, be resilient. Rub some dirt on it, get back in the game. Embrace and value differences. See that people do not have to fit in order to belong. Please be healthy. Make good decisions about your indulgences. Exercise regularly. Eat well and sleep soundly so you can dream big. Choose the pain of discipline over the pain of regret, remembering the pain of discipline only lasts while we're in the midst of the task, while the pain of regret can last a lifetime. Be compassionate and forgiving because God knows you want others to be compassionate and forgiving to you. Participate in democracy. Vote. It's your responsibility. Say please and thank you. Look both ways. Go to class. Don't drink and drive. No unprotected sex. You know what? Just no sex. So you're like 30 or something. But seriously, always consider whatever. As in whatever it takes to live up to the standards that we, your family, have instilled in you. To whatever your individual talents allow you to do to embody the tenets of wisdom, honor, and service that your school has encouraged in you. Now, before I end, I'd like to shift my audience from graduates to parents and read a short poem that recently struck a chord with me. It's called Your Children Are Not Your Children by Khalil Gibran. Your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. They come through you, but not from you. And although they are with you, yet they not belong to you. You may give them your love, but not your thoughts, for they have their own thoughts. You may house their bodies, but not their souls, for their souls dwell in the house of tomorrow, which you cannot visit, not even in your dreams. You may strive to be like them, but seek not to make them like you, for life goes not backwards nor tarries with yesterday. Parents, while we're never done parenting, today we need to pat ourselves on the back and say, so far, job well done. Congratulations on shepherding these children into adulthood. It's time we let them go and trust that they're ready to take on whatever comes their way. Graduates, it's with boundless love that all of us here today congratulate you on your graduation. We wish you Godspeed on your new beginnings. Thank you.